Tony cuts quite the dash at the bus stop, in jogging bottoms stained beyond repair, and a jacket from Sue Ryder which has smelt faintly of cider since he bought it for 50p. His hair was as white as light clouds and swept back straight and proud, unlike his back which seems to bend further and further with each passing hour. In the buttonhole of his jacket a flower, which he picked whilst having a walk through the park, taking care to ensure he was out before dark when the wilder things roamed. He has a room but not a home, and a life which hasn't been his own for as long as he cares to remember. A nervous breakdown in the November of his 23rd year when the abuse got too much. Now he has a life as such as long as he returns to the clutches of his supported housing and the crutches of his regularly scheduled medication. Tony represents the invisible of this nation, the walking wounded who'd be swept under the carpet and forgotten if the world was spring cleaned. At the bus stop he dribbles on rocks as the yummy mummies coo over their baby chariots which will protect little Harley and Harriet from the wind and the rain and probably a collision with a tank. As they board the bus, a young man spots Tony and yells "He's rank" as he blasts tinny music out of his phone, hand resting on his pubic bone and grasping at his penis, but not at the irony of his disgust at Tony's appearance. Luckily, Tony's brain is lost in a regular bout of brain interference, in which his mind tries to convince him that he's an aeroplane waiting for clearance to land. His leg starts to shake along with his hand, causing him to drop his shopping as the bus changes gears and his milk carton bounces to jeers from the phone DJ and his mates. As along the bus, commuters chat about failed dates and why the trains are always late and the sex of William and Kay's third kid. Tony slips and skids on his spilt milk and tea bags, and the waist of his jogger bottom starts to sag as the front of them stain dark with his piss. Two mascara-eyed teenage girls stare on in shock, trying to imagine what it would be like when they're that age too, keeping their distance like hopelessness is as contagious as a nasty bout of the flu, but anyway, they wouldn't know what to do even if they did go over. Tony keeps floundering as ringtones are sounding and the bus is ground into a halt. He pulls himself up to his feet as a man stops to help him to his seat and then waits for a beat to say, "Take care, bruv." To Tony, a purer act of love than he's known for a long time. Because it seems like in a world that moves so fast now, some people are being left permanently behind, out of sight and out of mind, because how can you find the will to keep up with the Kardashians if you can't keep up with yourself? Tony gets off at his stop with his crushed milk and his fizzed up pop, and as he leaves, people audibly sigh with relief as he exits, because the grief of watching him struggle to exist was too much. So he goes on with his mouth full of rotted teeth and a heart full of unfinished grief, because time can't heal if nothing feels real anymore. He soldiers on, putting one foot in front of the other, heartbroken but with both eyes dry, because you run out of tears when you've been bullied for 50 years.